This video is designed to help you track who's logged into the database at a specific point in time. Eventually, you may have this database residing with a back-end and front-end setup where the back-end is storing all of the table data and your users, multiple users, have front ends on their local machines. And you as the admin may need to make some changes to the database structure and therefore need to boot everybody off of the system while you make those changes. So in order to know who's logged in, if you have multiple users spread across the network, this is a technique for making that happen. So what this describes is that as the database gets opened up, there's a hidden form that opens that triggers storing in a table called table user log, the user ID from their Windows login name, and then the now timestamp. And then when the database gets closed, the form therefore gets closed. And before the database fully closes, the table gets updated with a date time group stamp for the user to being logged off. So setting this up took a couple of steps. Step one was creating a table user log with the auto number of the primary key, user ID that's going to be storing the Windows login name, the now time stamp for their login, and that is defaulted to equals now. And then the log off is a time, but that is left blank initially. The next piece that this website has recommended is for us to create a module called UserLog. So I went up here to Visual Basic and created a new code, inserted a new module, and then saved it. And I cut out of the website this information for the login, which is trapping the username from the computer and putting it into table user log as the user value in that field. And then when the computer needs to do the shutdown and the log off, again, we check the user's name, and then we insert the now date time group stamp in the log off column. So that initiates that piece. The next thing that was needed is to create a form. And so create a blank form, give it a name, called it form monitor. On this form in the upper left, we click the little black dot there, and then they want us to have some code on the login to initiate that module that we were just looking at and trigger it, and then when it unloads to trigger the log off. So clicked into the onload, and then took the code, cut, copy, and then pasted it as you see there, and hit the save button. Now the next piece is that what we'll need to do is we've got to get this form to open up. So the way that our database currently functions is that our welcome form is the splash screen. It automatically opens up when the database opens. So what I did is I went to our welcome. This is not in the instructions, but I went to our welcome splash page and set an onload embedded macro that opens the form of form monitor as a form, and the mode is hidden. So now when welcome opens, form monitor opens, it's hidden, and it will stay hidden until the database closes, and that causes that to work. Now, there's some additional recommendations for this form user login to see who's currently logged in and have a form to interact with that information. That could be done later. But at this point, table login is functioning, trapping my logins and logouts.